All right, I am Austin from Calling Our Shot, and we are here to break down each NFL divisional round playoff matchup this weekend. We have some intriguing storylines and some big games to watch out as teams are trying to get to their respective conference championships. And we're going to break down each matchup. I'm going to give you my prediction as well as kind of tell you what I think will happen, and then we'll be able to check back late Sunday night after the Bucks Saints game and see if I should put on my rubber nose or, we're going to see. But let's hop into this first game, Rams versus the Packers. This game kicks off at 4:30 on Saturday. And, I'm not a big fan of the Packers, just as a fan-wise. I think I respect them. Aaron Rodgers is going to be the MVP this year. They're insanely talented, but I'd love to see the Rams win after they upset the Seahawks last week, but I don't think they're going to be able to pull it off this weekend. Aaron Rodgers and that offense is much better than the Seahawks and Russell Wilson and what they were doing. The Rams were able to shut down the Seahawks and just annihilate them, and they really could never get into a rhythm all game long. But that's not going to be the same case for the Packers this week. In Lambeau Field, it's going to be cold. They're going to have the advantage there. And, Jalen Ramsey, he can guard Devontae Adams, but he's not going to be able to stop Devontae Adams like he can DK Metcalf. Devontae Adams is going to get his, and he's going to have a big game regardless of who's on him. The Packers will find a way to get him into the right coverages and the right matchups, and they'll exploit him all day long. A random prediction, Robert Tonyan. I say he gets into the end zone this weekend, and we get a big Aaron Jones game. The Rams, we still don't know who's going to be their starting quarterback, whether it's John Wolford or Jared Goff, but it'll be an interesting game to watch. Overall, I think the Packers end up winning this one, and they cover just barely. Next game, the Ravens versus the Bills. And I feel like I've seen this game way too many times. The Bills, 13-3, they're rolling all season, especially the last 5-6 weeks. They're on a hot stretch, and now you got the Ravens, also hot, won 6-7 straight games. And, I'm going to lean towards the Ravens. It's going to be a close one. I expect this to be a low-scoring game. The over-under is 49.5, but I expect a low-scoring game. The Ravens have a great defense, and I was not convinced with Josh Allen just yet. I thought he was an MVP candidate this year, but oftentimes it's hard to translate that success into the postseason, as a la Lamar Jackson, who just got his first career playoff victory last weekend, and he makes it two consecutive playoff games for the Ravens that they will win, and they will go to the AFC Conference Championship. Now, I think it will be, like I said, a low-scoring game. Josh Allen will struggle against the Ravens' defense. Overall, I think the Ravens will win by a couple points. Nothing big. J.K. Dobbins will get into the end zone like he has done the last 7 to 8 games. But you aren't checking out our NFL player props. If you don't know, we run a website, callingourshot.com, where we give out NFL player props. We give out NBA player props every single night. We just kind of post analysis, different articles that we're just kind of thinking of on the fly. And if you think that's cool, you guys want to check it out, the link is in the description down below, or you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Calling Our Shot, no spaces, and you can see us tweet out our articles there and check us out there, because there's some good content out there and some good analysis that I don't think you guys want to miss. But let's get into the next matchup, which will be on Sunday, and that will be the first one, the Browns versus the Chiefs. I don't need to spend much time about this one. We saw the Browns defense really crumble in the second half against the Steelers. If it wasn't for that 28-0 lead, the Browns probably would have lost this game, or the game last weekend against the Steelers. And, the Browns, Baker Mayfield, he's just not as good as Pat Mahomes, and there's no way to be nice about that. It's not his fault. Pat Mahomes is just a legend, and they're playing at home. Andy Reid gets 2 weeks of rest, which he's insanely good with 2 weeks of rest and preparation. The Chiefs are going to win this one. It will be close, I think, for the first half, but the Chiefs will pull away as the Browns just don't have the steam or the talent to keep up with them. Now, I am hoping for a big Kareem Hunt game. He's returning to the Arrowhead, as he was a Chief a couple years ago, but then with the scandals and whatnot, they released him. But I'm hoping he plays well in this game. They're going to need to control the clock. Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt are going to need to have big days for them to stand a chance in this game. If it turns into a shootout, Chiefs all day, won't lose this one. And then the last game of the slate, which will be, I think, the most intriguing to me, and that's Buccaneers versus the Saints. The Saints have beaten the Bucs twice this year. The first was in Week 1, where it was a closer game, but then in the second one, they just completely obliterated the Bucs at home. I believe it was like 38-3. It was an ugly performance. And you know what they say, it's hard to beat a team 3 times. And especially Tom Brady, man. He is the GOAT. There's no way around that. And I think he gets the job done. I was reading some articles earlier this week, and I saw the statistic that Tom Brady has 9 playoff wins since he turned 39 years old. Keep in mind he's 43, so he had a couple years before he turned 39. And so he had 9 playoff wins since age 39. Drew Brees has 9 career playoff wins. That is insane. And, Tom Brady's going to make it 10. And Drew Brees is going to be stuck at 9, and he's probably going to retire after this game. And that's a hard way to see Drew Brees go out. But the Buccaneers are rolling. Their offense is looking good. And honestly, I just don't think Drew Brees is as good as he used to be. He can't really do too much. They struggled against the Bears last weekend. They were lucky the Bears couldn't do anything on offense, which isn't a surprise. But Mitch Trubisky is a little bit different than Tom Brady. And I think the Bucs and their talent on offense will get the job done this weekend. So we're looking at in the next week, and I'll break this down next week around the same time. We're going to have Packers versus the Bucs, a rematch from when the Bucs destroyed the Packers earlier this year, as well as the Ravens versus the Chiefs. 2 great games, and I can't wait to break them down, as well as to see what unfolds this weekend in the NFL. I've been Austin. This is Calling Our Shot. Feel free to check out our social media. I'll link them down below at Calling Our Shot everywhere. And please check out our website for more picks and predictions. And that's all we got. Peace out, guys.